All right, what it is, everybody? It is Fantasy Football with McLovein. We are in Pro Bowl week.
Pro Bowl week.
All right. Let's talk about this real quick. New 49ers coach Chip Kelly says the NFC West is, quote, stacked. San Francisco needed overtime just to get to 1-5 against division foes in 2015, and Kelly sees the competition being pretty fierce in his first season.
Correct. I think you asked me this question last week, but I'll answer it again. Team
I
that...
did.
What's that?
Yeah, I did ask you. Let's skip the question.
Yeah, you asked me that question.
All right, so here we go. Now we already talked about him. Okay, because this is a... this should be fine. This is... All right, here we go. Sources say Romo plans to have off-season surgery. Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo is planning to have off-season surgery on his collarbone, sources told ESPN's Ed Werder, who, by the way, also looks like a chipmunk.
Yes, he does. Tony Romo, has been not healthy the last couple of years, and it's reflected on the team. They haven't had a serviceable backup. They need to get someone in place because this guy is no longer playing 16-game seasons. He's broke that collarbone twice now in 5 months. He's not getting any younger, but all the eggs are in the Tony Romo basket for the Cowboys. And if he's healthy and Brian's healthy, they're a playoff caliber team. If he's not healthy, we've seen what happens when he's not healthy. They're two in the century, or they can win 1 or 2 games without Tony Romo. And I still blame Jerry Jones, who's the owner slash GM slash asshole that runs that team. They didn't go out and get a legit backup, and they were going Brandon Weedham, Matt Castle, and still they never went out and got someone. You're not going to win a football game with Brandon Weedham, Matt Castle. So not only does Tony Romo have to get healthy, he needs to take time to let everything heal. He'll be ready to go. Dez has a surgery on his foot. He should be ready to go. The offensive line get back together, reestablish that running game. But most importantly, they need to find some legit backups because no one's going an entire year without getting injured, and that's just the NFL.
Mama Lynch, unsure which way Marshawn is leaning. Considering Marshawn Lynch is perhaps the most unpredictable player in the NFL, it's unlikely that he'll make a firm decision one way or another soon.
Yeah, this guy, he's on his own timetable. And it just doesn't mean anything to him that he has 52 other teammates and a whole organization that would like to know what his decision is so they can start, getting ready for next year. This guy, beats to his own drummer. He's just not a teammate. We've been over this before. He'll make his decision whenever he's ready to make his decision. And that's just something Seattle, when they acquired this guy, and he's so good that they have to deal with it every single day, every single week. Is he going to play? Where is he going to be? Is he going to quit? Is he going to come back? Is he going to sign his contract? Is he hurt? Does he want to play? Does he want to make the trip? Does he want to play in cold weather? Is he, he's not a teammate. Never will be a teammate. So unfortunately, with his ability, he demands that you go on his timetable, and unfortunately, that can hinder, an outlook for a season or a year for a certain team. But if he does come back and play, he'll play, and if he plays, he rushes for 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. But who knows? With any question with Marshawn Lynch, just answer with who knows. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows.
Reggie Wayne sheds light on what Peyton Manning's, quote, Omaha call means. Omaha means he's going the other way, Reggie Wayne said. If the original play is a dive right, Omaha means dive left.
Okay, I guess they figured it all out. Now we can stop Peyton Manning.
Gostkowski says, missed point after try, quote, lost game for Patriots. Stephen Gostkowski's missed extra point proved costly. as it forced the Patriots into a late two-point conversion attempt that was intercepted as the Broncos advanced to the Super Bowl.
You know, it's one of those things. It's like Jack Nicklaus missing a 2-foot putt. You know, it's like the best out there missing. It's like LeBron missing a layup for the for a playoff game or something like that. Like gimmies, these are all gimmies to him. We expect them to be gimmies, even though they moved it back. He missed it, and it's unfortunate. I still don't believe that really cost him the game. Yes, it definitely made things difficult as far as winning that football game. But you gotta understand that this guy hits everything, and since 2006, and he doesn't miss. Now he missed. It shouldn't be all on his shoulders. He's won many games for them, but at the same point, AFC Championship. He picked the worst time to miss an extra point, and unfortunately, all those points count the same. And when you have to go for 2 at the end of the game against a defense like that, it's difficult. I mean, that definitely set him back. But there was a whole football game to be left to play, and if New England had any offensive line, we never would be even talking about this extra point. Did it hurt them? Yes, but they still could have. They still could have won the game, bottom line. But I do feel bad for Gostkowski, and I don't think anyone in New England is blaming him specifically. If they are, then shame on them.
Elway lauds defense after Broncos AFC title win. After he saw the franchise earn its 8th Super Bowl trip, John Elway declared the current Broncos defense the best the team has had in 3+ decades.
No question. This Broncos defense played the best game of the entire year. And I'll tell you what, the last time I saw a defense play that well in an AFC Championship game was probably going back to the 2001 Ravens. These guys were unstoppable. Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware were past New England's offensive tackles before. They made it was like a JV football game versus a varsity, and it was like a full team of practice squad players against a full. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even they were getting their hands on them. These guys were around them before they even knew what hit them. Before even their first step back. Von Miller's all over Tom Brady. The corners and the safeties, and this team was playing. This defense plays at a high level, and for sure, the defense and what the Broncos did. The reason that they're in the Super Bowl is because of the defense. The reason they beat New England was because of the defense. Tom Brady dropped back, 52 times. He was hit 20 times.
23.
Hurried like 38 times. Brady never had one shot. And God bless Brady. He stepped in there. He made it a game. But at the same time, when you got these guys just itching to get to there, and knowing as a quarterback that your offensive tackles are not going to block anybody, it sucks. But at the same time, you got to tip your cap that they played a 4-quarter game on defense, and the better team won. And Denver's defense is top notch, and they're flying around, and that's why I still think Denver has a shot against Carolina because of their defense, bottom line.
All right, here's something that's a bottom line. Brady says, quote, "No excuses for me in AFC title game loss." After Tom Brady endured 23 hits from heavy Broncos pressure in a 20-18 AFC title game loss, the Patriots quarterback called the game, quote, "an uphill battle," and said he had, quote, "no excuses for his performance."
Well, that's just being a leader, and that's just being a veteran. That's being a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just like a good starting pitcher, a great starting pitcher is going to say, "Look, it's on me. I'm the focal point. The wins and losses are on my back. I take this team on my back, and if we lose, it's my fault." And he's not going to blame anybody, and he can take all the blame and answer questions. And this guy's been to 10 AFC championships. You're not going to win every single one of them. but at the same point, he did whatever he possibly could in order for this team to get back in that game. And I mean, that pass to Gronkowski on fourth and forever, the last play, which I thought the season was over, was just unbelievable. He's getting crushed from both sides. He throws up a duck, and it just comes, double coverage down. I mean, and even the touchdown pass to get it to the 2-point conversion. I mean, the guy played one of his best games, I thought, with all that was surrounding him. He stood in there every single time and took the hit. He's a true man. He's a true competitor, and they'll, as long as Brady's there, they're going to continue being back in these AFC Championship games. So I think he took it like a man.
Panthers installed as clear Super Bowl favorites. After a rout of the Cardinals on Sunday, Cam Newton and the Panthers were favored by sportsbooks to beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the line's like -5 right now. Like I said, I was talking to Andy about this. He thinks that they're going to win by 14 points. I think it's going to be a game, and not because of Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, no. They'll lose the game because of Peyton Manning. They won't win the game because of Peyton Manning. They're going to win the game just like they beat the Patriots. And if this game is played in Denver, it's a whole different game. I understand it's not. It's in a neutral field. But still, I mean, if their defensive ends plays this well, if their corners and their safeties and their linebackers, that kid Brandon Marshall's a stud linebacker. If they play like they did against New England, this is going to be a game. Bottom line, it's going to be a game. And I hope it's a good game. I mean, I have no rooting interest. If you put a gun to my head, I'm going to root for, Carolina because I hate Denver. But, it's going to be closer than what people think. And, I know there's 2 weeks and building up, and they're going to talk. You're going to just want the game to get started. That's what happens with the 2 weeks in between. But it's going to be close.
All right. Panthers Davis, who has a broken arm, vows to play in Super Bowl. Panthers All-Pro linebacker Thomas Davis and safety Roman Harper said they'll play in Super Bowl 50 despite injuries sustained in the first half of Sunday's NFC Championship game.
Sure, they have to. Bottom line, I mean, if you can play, you can play. If you can play, this is the biggest game of your life. This is the biggest game of everyone's lives. Is always a Super Bowl. So if you can play, you're going to play. I hope Jared Allen can play because that guy deserves a ring. With the broken foot, I know he'll have 3 weeks now to recruit. But and Thomas Davis is a tough bastard. He's a brawler. He's a junkyard dog type player, and I expect him to be ready in a week and a half.
Belichick says all Pats, not just kickers, share blame. Bill Belichick said he doesn't fault Stephen Gostkowski's missed extra point for the Patriots' loss against the Broncos in Sunday's AFC Championship game.
True. He could have coached better. The offensive line could have played better. That's the thing in football. For sure, the one example that with Blair Walsh, the team did everything they possibly could. The guy just missed a 27-yarder. Now, if there was the same situation and the Pats had the game won, all they had to do is kick a 27-yarder and you missed that one, then it's all his fault. But Belichick is not one to come out and spew bullshit. So if this extra point really cost him the game, he'd have no problem coming out and saying that because he knows that everyone in that locker room feels the same way. Now, he's right. There was so much football. I mean, Brady threw that pick. There was just there's so many different variables in an NFL game. You can't really point to one specific situation. The reason why you lose a game, especially missing an extra point that early in the game, there still has to be football played. They still got to stop the Broncos on third down. They still have to pick up. What were they like 1 for 10 on third down? Attempt. So there's too much football to blame it on an extra point that was missed early in the game.
Rivera optimistic Davis can play in Super Bowl after surgery. Carolina Panthers All-Pro linebacker Thomas Davis underwent surgery Monday to repair a broken right arm suffered in the first half of Sunday's NFC Championship game. Yeah,
like I just said, I think that he'll play. He has to play. It's the biggest game of his life, and if he can participate, and even if he plays with a broken arm, so what? Like you're not going to keep this guy out of the game. I mean, there's really no. It's either you're playing or you're not. There's really no questionable or probable or doubtful. It's either like if you have balls and you can walk and you can you can get in there. It's the biggest game ever. So he'll find a way to play, and he still has 10, 11 days to get better. So he's got plenty of time.
Vince Young on arrest. Quote, disappointed in self. Former quarterback Vince Young was arrested on a DWI charge near the University of Texas campus early Monday morning.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, that fucking article made me sneeze.
Well, Vince Young.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Oh, the snot's everywhere.
God bless you.
Snot's everywhere.
Go get him, Winnie. Yeah, anytime anyone gets a DUI, no one's happy. Yeah, he made a wrong choice. We're all human. The only reason this is because of Vince Young. He's just, really, what it was a top notch. When he left Texas, he was a hero, and then considerably we just went downhill, and who knows even what he's doing right now. But the only reason it's in the news is because he's Vince Young, and yes, he made a bad decision. I think that's a fair statement.
Eagles lock up tight end Ertz with 5-year extension. Tight end Zach Ertz has signed a 5-year contract extension with the Eagles, worth a reported $42.5 million with $20 million guaranteed.
That's like taking $20 million guaranteed and just flushing it down the toilet. Zach Ertz is an average tight end at best. Average. Net. He's not going to wow you. He's not worth $20 million. This was a stupid, terrible signing. Horrible. Just absolutely horrible.
Football!
And it shows even without Kelly there, they're still making dog shit decisions. So maybe Chip Kelly was right. It was a piece of shit to coach there, but that's terrible. Zach Ertz is $20 million is a lot of money. He's going to see every single penny of that. So he won't be there 5 years. He's not going to go through the entire $42 million of that contract. They'll probably realize within the second year this guy's worthless, and they'll probably cut him.
Dansby says the Browns went through, quote, suffocating year. Linebacker Carlos Dansby said he didn't know what was wrong with the Browns in 2015, but the team and players could feel internal conflict.
Well, I could tell you what's wrong with them. They suck. Starting with the quarterback, starting with the head coach. No one has respect for the head coach. No. The guys aren't playing as a team. Oh, God.
Sorry.
There's many issues. I mean, yes, they didn't feel as though they were going to win to begin the season. What does that tell you about what they expected to do for the entire season? I mean, it's a stupid comment. I don't know why they... Obviously, they're the Browns. They suck. They always suck, and I don't think they've been good since I don't even know. Since Belichick was there. But... They got a lot of problems, and when Dansby comes out and says that they're bad because there's no, it's all a lot to do about nothing.
All right, Talib says Newton, quote, most dangerous quarterback in the NFL. Cam Newton drew high praise from Aqib Talib on Monday, with the Broncos quarterback calling the Panthers star, quote, the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL.
He is. He's in the Super Bowl. He'll be the MVP. When this guy's playing at his high level, it's very, very difficult to stop him because he can do it all. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's smart. Doesn't turn the ball over. He can run. He can, when he not only does he get on run, but he can pick up yards. He does design runs. He's very smart. And look at a guy that has really nothing to work with. I mean, they have a decent offensive team, but I mean, he made Greg Olsen into a superstar. Jonathan Stewart's a good running back. He's not flashy. He's not going to kill you. But Ted Ginn Jr. and all these guys, they lost their best receiver before the season began. I mean, this is Cam, and it's all because of Cam Newton. Bottom line, 15-1 to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton is the reason where they are, and Talib's correct. He's the most dangerous quarterback right now on this planet Earth. And, they're going to have to figure out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways to stop him because there's 7 different ways that Cam Newton can beat you. And, he's not, he could be a pocket passer if he wants. He can get outside. He can make plays on the run. He's a beast. so it's not like tackling a normal quarterback. So Talib is right with that statement.
Police suggest felony charges for Seahawks fullback. According to the police report released Monday, Seahawks fullback Derek Coleman's truck was traveling 60 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone when it struck another vehicle on October 14th.
This is the deaf guy or the blind guy?
I have no idea who this was.
I think he's deaf.
He is?
Yeah, remember?
Derek Coleman, the fullback of the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
I think he's deaf.
All right.
Anyway, he hit somebody, injured him and took off. So, we'll let the authorities handle it from there, but it's not going to end well.
All right, sources. Pats offensive line coach DiGuillemio, I think is how you pronounce it, part ways. The Patriots and offensive line coach Dave DiGuillemio, whatever, have parted ways, sources confirmed to ESPN.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little while ago. Unfortunately, when the offensive line is the reason that they did lose that game, someone's got to fall. And then Andy asked me if he was really, really a good coach, would they have fired him? No. I mean, one game should not get you fired unless you are a bad coach. So it's a reflection on two things. Is the guy really that bad of a coach? Probably not. But following Dante Scarnecchia, who found a way to always make it work, and this guy just couldn't with the injuries. So unfortunately, someone's got to fall, and he was the guy.
Eagles extend another tight end. Get deal with Selleck. The Eagles have reached an agreement with tight end Brent Selleck, signing him to a 3-year extension.
Oh my God! What are they doing? What are they doing in Philly? Neither of these tight ends are game changers. They're average at best. Yeah, I don't have any words for these two tight ends. Are terrible.
All right. Hold on. Here it is. This is taking forever here. What is the problem? Vince Young to keep Texas job despite arrest. Former quarterback Vince Young will remain employed by the University of Texas despite a DWI arrest on Sunday.
What does he do for them?
I have no idea. Have sex with the woman?
Yeah, he can't be hired. He can't be working in the
football operations.
No, well, I'm saying he can't be working in. He's not a tutor. He's not working for the academic side. The guy's fucking stupid.
Having sex.
So he had a 7 on his Wonderlic. He's next to retarded. So I don't know what he's doing, but good for him. He can get fired.
All right, Bills GM on Ryan reunion. I know it's a positive. Bills general manager Doug Whaley recognized the Ryan brothers' individual coaching struggles, but is confident their pairing on the Bills is, quote, a positive for each of them and for the team.
I mean, what's he going to say? It's terrible. I mean, it's his team. It's his coaching staff. It's never going to end well. I think I talked about this 2 weeks ago. It's gonna end the relationship between the two brothers because it's just not going to end well in Buffalo. I mean, the bottom line is if they don't have a quarterback, they're not going to win. Okay? They don't have a quarterback who can win a Super Bowl. Regardless if these guys are the best friends and best brothers or whether they hate each other, this relationship's not going to end well, and nothing's going to end well in Buffalo.
Jets Richardson avoids jail time and police chase. Jets defensive lineman Sheldon Richardson avoided jail time Tuesday after pleading guilty to reduced charges connected to a high-speed police chase in suburban St. Louis.
Yeah, this is the one he was going 110. He had a loaded weapon and with his daughter in the backseat, who was like 8, flopping around in the backseat, no seatbelt. He's a lucky bastard, and unfortunately, with this no jail time, gets a slap on the wrist. What are the chances he learned his lesson?
Here's something interesting. Vontaze Burfict actually does like the Steelers on Madden. Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict, who is suspended and fined for exploits against the Steelers, likes playing as them in video games.
It's the team he plays for, right?
Vontaze Burfict?
Oh, he plays for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking idiot. That's all I have to say. He's a fucking... I mean, who even finds this stuff to... Who cares? Right, Winnie?
When he's just looking.
Winnie's just giving me this eye like, yeah, he's a convict. He should be locked up.
All right, here we go. Ex-Canes coach Golden to meet with Cowboys. Al Golden, who was fired by the University of Miami this past season, will be among those who will interview for a spot on the Cowboys staff.
Al Golden's a decent coach. Good. Best of luck. Whether they hire him or not, it's not going to determine whether they're going to be a playoff team. So it's all about nothing.
Jets settle lawsuit with cheerleaders over wages. The New York Jets have settled a lawsuit filed by cheerleaders over wages and will pay nearly $324,000.
Mother of Christ, is that what's coming to these days? I mean, they should be paid. Just give them like $5,000 every single game. $5,000, $4,000 or $5,000. It gets them, $50,000 a year. Okay, cheerleader, this is not their full-time gig. Give them $50,000.
40 grand, but yeah.
40 grand, whatever, 45 to 50 grand. Give it to them. Everyone shuts up, And I mean, they have jobs during the week. People actually go there to look at the cheerleaders, so they do draw, and they make their own money in their own pocket after these calendar shoots. So just shut up.
49ers to hire ex-Browns defensive coordinator O'Neal, source says. The 49ers have reached an agreement with Jim O'Neal, who oversaw the Browns' defense the past 2 seasons, to serve as Chip Kelly's defensive coordinator, a source confirmed.
They're really reaching. If this is the only guy they had available, I think they went hard after Vrabel. Vrabel said, "I don't want any part of it." Now, anytime you take a guy off the Browns coaching staff, it's like one step back before one step forward. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Like Paul Abdul.
Yep. Yes.
Carlos Dansby will put his numbers up with anyone's in NFL history.
Oh, God.
Browns linebacker Carlos Dansby, whose numbers compare closely to future Hall of Fame Brian Urlacher's, gets little NFL recognition, and he doesn't know why.
Dansby's a good player. He's not great. He's not a Hall of Famer. He never will be a Hall of Famer. So he just needs to shut up and, if the people really think he's a Hall of Famer, let them vote him in. If not, just football is not a game of numbers. Baseball is a game of numbers. Football is not a game of numbers. And the numbers are thrown around like trinkets at Holiday Inn, Just everyone gets one. Everyone's going to have some number they're proud of. They're breaking records, so he's not a Hall of Famer. Urlacher's a borderline Hall of Famer. I guess he'll get in. I don't think he's a great, but Dansby just needs to keep his mouth shut.
Johnny Manziel, Cam Irving led AFC North in penalties at their positions. The Browns' Johnny Manziel and Cam Irving, players who do not play full-time, led the AFC North in penalties at their respective positions.
Johnny Manziel?
Yep.
Oh, he sucks.
Former Giant safety Sash had high level of CTE. Tyler Sash, who died at age 27 from an accidental overdose of painkillers, had an extraordinarily high level of CTE, the New York Times reports.
Not good. I got like 3 minutes.
Yep, keep going.
Okay.
Peyton to Belichick, this might be my last rodeo. Peyton Manning acknowledged to Bill Belichick that Sunday's AFC Championship game might have been the last time they matched wits, telling the New England coach that, quote, "This might be my last rodeo."
I think it may be. I don't see Peyton going through another 16-game season and getting to the... I think he's done with Denver, win or lose. So I think it was. And unfortunately, Peyton, was the last to be victorious, which sucks, but, it's life.
All right, Eli rooting for Peyton, perhaps to, quote, "go out on top."
It's his brother.
If this is his brother's last career game, Giants quarterback Eli Manning is rooting for Peyton Manning to, quote, "go out on top with a win in Super Bowl 50.
As opposed to him coming out and saying he hopes he loses, it's his fucking brother.
That's the fucking deal. All right, transaction time. Thursday the 21st, the Chiefs promoted Brad Childress and Matt Nagy as co-offensive coordinator. We went over this, didn't we?
Yes.
Because we did last Friday we did the video, correct?
Yes.
All right, so let's just go to Saturday then. Saturday the 23rd, Patriots signed linebacker Kevin Snyder from the practice squad.
No.
Vikings signed wide receiver Terrell Sinkfield to a reserve future contract.
No.
Dolphins named Danny Barrett running backs coach.
No.
Sunday the 24th, Buccaneers named Todd Monken offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach.
No.
Monday the 25th, Titans Named Russ Grimm, offensive line coach, Deshae Townsend, secondary coach, and Steve Jackson, assistant secondary coach.
Russ Grimm's a probably top 2 or 3 offensive line coach.
Why can't the Patriots?
That was just going right through my mind. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Buccaneers named Brett Maxey, defensive backs coach.
No.
Eagles signed tight end Zach Ertz to a 5-year contract extension through the 2021 season. We talked about that. Vikings announced tight ends coach Kevin Strafonski will become running backs coach. Named Pat Shurmur tight ends coach.
Pat Shurmur, former interim head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles for 1 game.
Dolphins named Lou Anarumo defensive backs coach. Darren Rizzi assistant head coach. Chris Cooper offensive quality control coach. Rusky McKinney defensive quality control coach. And Jim Arthur and Ted Rath, assistant strength and conditioning coaches.
No.
Promoted Tate Paluca to head strength and conditioning coach.
No.
Lions named David Walker running backs coach.
No.
Falcons announced assistant head coach Raheem Morris will become the wide receivers coach. Named Jerome Henderson defensive passing game coordinator.
No.
All right, yesterday, the Eagles agreed to terms with tight end Brent Selleck on a 3-year contract.
Garbage.
Talked about that. Patriots signed linebacker James Waters, offensive lineman Chris Baker, wide receiver DeAndre Carter, running back Joey Iosefa, defensive back Rashawn Melvin, offensive lineman Kevin Milton, safety Cedric Thompson, and defensive back Brock Vereen to reserve future contracts.
No.
Bears named Richard Hightower assistant special teams coach.
No.
Falcons named Phil Emery and Rustin Webster national scouts.
No.
Rustin Webster? Nothing?
Brewston Webster?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
All right. Cardinals signed quarterbacks Carrington Bindum and Kevin White, offensive tackles Rob Crisp and John Wetzel, safety Darrell Eskridge, running backs Marion Grace and Robert Hughes, guard Antoine McLean, linebacker Quayshawn Neely, defensive tackle Olson Pierre, and wide receiver Jackson Shipley to reserve future contracts.
No.
And then today, Patriots signed defensive lineman Joe Villano to a reserve future contract.
Yay, Joe Villano. Good guy.
And Cardinals signed quarterback Carriel Brooks to a reserve future contract.
No.
All right, so real quick, and then we'll end this video here, okay? This week is obviously Pro Bowl week, okay? So the deal is this. It is Team Irvin, right, versus Team who? Jerry Rice.
Yes.
All right? And there is no line on it.
No.
But if you had to pick somebody, who do you think is going to win?
Jerry Rice.
All right, Jerry Rice is going to he believes Jerry Rice is going to win the Pro Bowl. And then how this is going to work, this is interesting because you were 0-2. Okay, your first 2 losses of this playoff series came in the AFC Championship and NFC Championship games. Your prediction of the Patriots against the Cardinals is the exact opposite. And CV Gunn obviously had to pick both of the teams you didn't and won.
He won.
So he's a game behind you. Correct. Now, this is how this is going to work. And you don't have to give your prediction now. We can wait for next week. But the deal is this. So, CV Gunn, pay attention because, this is like coming back from 17 down with 3 minutes left and winning the game like the Bengals did against, or like the Steelers did against the Bengals over nonsense. This is sort of like that. Here's what's going on. And it wasn't 17 down, I get the drill, but it's the same concept. Here's the thing. If McLovein picks his winner of the Super Bowl and loses the game, CV Gunn ties McLovein.
Correct.
We can't end in a tie. So, along with your Super Bowl prediction pick, you'll also do the over or the total combined points scored.
Okay.
And the closest one will win overall.
So the closest without going over, or just the closest?
Without going over.
The closest without going over.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Now,
okay.
now here's the no, you can't do that because in the event both of you are over, and it's still tied. So closest period.
Just the closest period.
Closest period,
okay.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. So CV Gunn, if you're watching this, pay fucking strict close attention because if you end up you're obviously picking the team McLovein doesn't pick, and you guys tie, then it's almost like whatever McLovein picks, you're forced to just pick. I mean, it's,
I'll wait for him to pick first.
You want to do that? Well, then you pick the... Well,
no,
you're giving him the win.
Team.
Oh, no, it doesn't work. Yeah. All right, McLoveин's going to pick next Wednesday for Super Bowl week. This is Pro Bowl week. He thinks Jerry Rice is going to win. We will see what happens. And everybody say hi to Winnie.
Hi, Winnie.
Winnie says, hi, what's going on? I'm a doggy. All right. Oh, I got to get Winnipeg. Yeah, there she is. All righty. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.